Let's perform a hollow hold. So for a hollow hold, the simplest variation that we can do is keeping his hands out here outside the hips. We're looking to basically keep the upper back, or just generally the torso, down onto the floor, head down on the floor. He's gonna push his hands down. He's gonna keep his feet together, and then you're just lifting off the feet, a little bit off the floor here. Once we're off the floor, you should feel some quads here, but a ton of core here. We're looking especially for a little bit of low ab engagement. Let's say this is really difficult. Justin can always lift his legs up even higher here. The higher you go, the less weight you're gonna be carrying. Slowly heading down, to find the right difficulty. Let's say this is still too easy. What he's gonna do here is just resetting, but he's gonna lift up his feet, and then also he's picking up his upper body. So once his head and his upper back is off the ground, this becomes even more difficult. Let's say he still wants more difficulty. He can keep his arms overhead. That's just gonna make him a longer lever. This will make it more difficult. If that's still too easy, he can always add a weight on his hands here. That right there is a hollow hold. Let's perform a elevated side plank hip dip. So what Justin's doing for the easiest variation is using a wall, some sort of surface basically that's nice and stable. He's looking to point his fist forward here, away from the body. He can keep his other hand on the hip, take his feet away from the wall. The more you pull away, the harder it becomes. So taking a deep breath in, he's gonna pull his hips down into the wall. Big exhale, big drive back up to the top. So just a nice hip dip here, right? Let's say this is too easy. He can always put his feet out wider, or he can use an elevated surface like a bench or a chair, something stable. Same thing, but now his feet are obviously further away from the shoulder, making a longer lever, making this a more difficult exercise. That is our elevated side plank hip dip, performed for the prescribed sets and repetitions. We're going to perform a pike or downward dog repetition. So what Justin's looking to do is he's going to set up first in a push-up shape. He's looking to push his thumb and his pointer fingers down into the floor here. Really important to get the serratus going, shoulder going here. He's externally rotating his shoulders, so thinking about pulling his elbows in towards his body here. And then from there, all he's looking to do is he's gonna push through his thumb, his pointer fingers, and he's gonna drive himself in towards his feet. His hips will hike up, that's where that pike shape comes in. And then he's just gonna go ahead and extend back out into his push-up shape. So he's gonna hold this for around like 3 to 5 seconds. We'll be denoting that, and then just coming back into his push-up shape. This is our level 1 variation technically here. So where we're just staying on a flat surface. If that is still actually too hard, we can always put the hands on top of an elevated surface. But to make this a bit harder, we can go onto an elevated surface for his feet, and he's gonna perform the exact same thing. He's just pushing his hips straight up, pushing through his thumb and pointer finger to do so. This should feel nice and challenging on the core, shoulders, just generally working on stabilizing as well here. That is our pike or downward dog repetitions.